Now we at our last division standing prediction for the 2023 NFL season. We on the NFC West now, the Wild Wild West. Thank you for watching the previous videos, and if you're here sticking with us for this last one, uh, you in for another good preview of this upcoming season for what I expect and what you should probably expect too. So with the NFC West, I got the 49ers winning the second seed. This is one of my easiest division picks. They still have a good defense. Their pass defense is suspect. It wasn't really good last year. You know, but they still have a very good run defense, a good pass rush. And in the rest of this division, they're not stacked up against a bunch of good pass offenses to the point where it's going to be problematic for them. So I got them getting that second seed. Again, the NFC is just it's such a porous conference this year with lackluster talent that a team like the 49ers, who I'm not that big on with, Brock Purdy, I think is going to have a bit of a sophomore slump this year. You even saw last year, he was high flying, had a crazy beginning when he got thrown into the fire when Jimmy G got hurt. But by the playoffs and the season, he cooled off, and I expect it to be the same way. I like Debo Samuel a lot. Brandon Ayuk is a good wide receiver, especially a guy for moving the change, good possession guy, good hands. Then you got McCaffrey at running back. McCaffrey, I think his miles are catching up to him, and I expect it to be an even bigger factor this season. I never was really that big on him as an actual rusher anyway when it comes to pounding the football with him. I think he was good, but I don't think he was ever anywhere near the level of a Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry. But he can still pass catch. So that's going to give a lot of safety valves for Brock Purdy when he's struggling. I think he will struggle in this sophomore slump type of season for him because this is his second year as a full-time starter. Um, but as far as the other side of the football goes, yeah, I mean they still have a lot of playmakers on the defense. Said Nick Bosa, who else they got? Ward, Shavarius Ward. Yeah, you look at Tashawn Gibson. They still got still got playmakers on the field on the defensive end. In the secondary, besides Ward and Gibson, it was their secondary hasn't been very good. And it showed, but they're not terrible. They can still get the job done. Got him finishing as the second seed in the conference and winning the division. Seattle Seahawks. I think like the New York Giants last year, they overachieved like crazy, especially if you look at Geno Smith from last year. He came out of left field the way he played, and I don't expect him to replicate that this year. Uh, I really look at is it I look at his season last year as someone um like that backup quarterback on the Bears a few like in 2015, 2016 who went off. Who am I thinking of? Uh Josh McCown. That was the guy I was thinking of. Josh McCown. He went off as a backup in 2013 as a when you got filled in for the Bears when Jay Cutler got hurt. He had a phenomenal year filling in. Crazy efficiency numbers, high TD to interception ratio, and the Buccaneers rolled the dice on him. They thought they liked what they saw, and he ended up not paying off. He ended up being back to his old self, and that's what I kind of picture with the Seahawks, even though I like he's in a better scenario with like he has good weapons with DK Metcalf, Lockett. Even you look at their running backs, the running back position is okay. Kenneth Walker, he had a pretty good year last year. I think he eclipsed 1,000 yards. Don't quote me on that, but I think he did, or he was close to it. Pete Carroll has really become like the new Bill Belichick when it comes to getting the best out of his players. You look at the other side of the field, over the years, we've seen guys like Brandon Browner, Byron Maxwell, just hot teams and not be able to replicate the success they had before. Richard Sherman. So Pete Carroll, I think he's gonna coach them up to the point where they'll be competitive, probably go, I don't know, maybe like 8-9, 98, probably 8-9. I just don't see Geno Smith being anywhere close as good to as he was last year. But he's got Pete Carroll, and we kind of see Russell Wilson too over the years, what he did in Denver versus what he did in Denver, that Pete Carroll was making him look a lot better than he really was. And Seahawks on the side of the football field, they're still serviceable. They're decent. You look at Quandre Diggs, good addition. You still got Bobby Wagner with Lavonte David. They're kind of like the OGs in the NFL, but they're still good, great, still top of the crop linebackers. So yeah, I got them finishing second. I got the Cardinals finishing third. Kyler Murray, I think he's gonna bounce back. He's injured to start off the year, but he's gonna come back. I think people are writing off Kyler Murray for no reason. I think he was in a very terrible position last year. When you're beefing with your head coach, is really it's a recipe for disaster. They got James Conner as their running back. He's not bad either. Again, all these guys like James Conner, Kenneth Walker, they're not good running backs. They're decent running backs that can get you yards. So I like the Cardinals as I mean, I don't like the Cardinals. They're not making the playoffs or anything like that, but I like them as kind of a surprise team. They don't got to deal with Cliffsbury anymore. Because Cliff's Kingsbury, but they have probably the worst defense in the NFL. So I think they'll like just be surprising and people will be impressed the fact that they wrote Kyler Murray off. Their offense will be better than what people are anticipating. I don't understand what people are writing off Kyler Murray. You look at his body of work, he's been a very good quarterback from his rookie year onwards. And it was just a bad situation he was in last year. And I think he'll bounce back from that. And I think he's getting highly disrespected for no reason at all. You look at the LA Rams, Matthew Stafford should have retired after he won the Super Bowl. He was pretty bad last year, and I expect things to stay the same way. Cooper Kupp's injured. They don't have their running game. They don't have a really good running back either, and their defense is terrible. So I got them finishing dead last, and that's about it. The Seahawks too. They have Jamal Adams back, and Bobby Wagner missed some time last year, so that's going to be good for them, their defense. But I mean, I still only got the 49ers making the playoffs from this division, and I'm not really big on the 49ers either, but it's a weak NFC conference, and their defense has been getting the job done for a number of years now. They're the mainstay defense in the NFL, it seems like. So they'll get the second seed. But yeah, those are my NFC West predictions.